Everyone, this is me, Juveria Siddiqa, lecturer in Zoology, MBS Government Degree College, Mahbub Nagar. Today in this session, I am going to discuss about the topic from the Physiology, paper 5th. And let me tell you who is the audience, target audience for this, for whom this is a beneficial topic for that final year students, especially. In that we have discussed letters one by one. What are the topics regarding to this digestion and the absorption of nutritional constituents? And now the digestion and the absorption of carbohydrates. This is the very first topic from the physiology where we are going to discuss about the carbohydrates digestion, how the digestion of the carbohydrates as well as how it is finally going to be absorbed into the small intestine and whatever the gastrointestinal tract is there, the absorption process will be discussed. Before going to depth about the topic, now we are going to discuss about first of all we have to know what is the definition for the digestion. Digestion is a process where the hydrolysis of large and complex organic molecules of food stuff into smaller and preferably water soluble molecules which can be easily absorbed by gastrointestinal tract. See here, it is a process of by using the water in the presence of water. It is a hydrolysis, as everyone know the process of hydrolysis, the breakdown of complex food molecules. Whatever the complex or the large molecules are there here, and these large molecules are breakdown into the smaller molecule, or we can say which are the unsoluble molecules or which is not easily soluble, that is going to be finally breakdown into the soluble molecules, and this process is defined as the digestion. Digestion of macromolecules also promotes the absorption of fat soluble vitamins and certain minerals. And see here, cooking of the food and the mastication improves its digestibility by the enzymes. And enzymes are some of the substances, or these are the some chemical substances which are used for the easily digestion of the substances. It may be like carbohydrates or the proteins or the lipids. And see here, if you talk about the food, our basically our food consists of like large molecules and the small molecules, and these large molecules are large molecules are break down into the small molecules, and then final process is the absorption, and the food is not directly absorbed into the bloodstream or the any part or any cell of the body. It has to be converted into the suitable structure, or we can say it has to go through the process defined as the absorption, then only it will be absorbed into the cellular level. That is the main concept of the digestion, where the large food substances are basically converted into the smaller food substances, or large particles are converted or break down into the smaller particles. And then see here, whenever these small molecules in the second line, let me show you here, whatever the small molecules are there, we can take the example for the vitamins and the minerals and the monosaccharides and the free amino acids. These are all the small molecules. It is also has to be converted, and finally it is also absorbed into the bloodstream. And see here, digestion of the carbohydrates, the principal dietary carbohydrates are the polysaccharides, disaccharides and the monosaccharides. As we all know, the carbohydrates are basically present into three forms, like the like the polysaccharides and disaccharides and the monosaccharides. Mono means single, only one are the one unit are the basic units of the sugars. Saccharides in the sense related to the sugars or the carbohydrates, whereas the polysaccharides means it is a group, or we can say a chain, or like carbohydrates chain is formed. It is a complex structure where so many glycosidic bonds are present, and then disaccharides means two molecules or the two monomer units are present. So if you talk about the classification of the carbohydrates, these carbohydrates are classified into three forms, like polysaccharides, disaccharides and the monosaccharides. And the hydrolysis of the glycosidic bond is carried out by a group of enzymes called as the glycosidases. See here, whenever we are talking about the ASE means ACE. A's are nothing but the term is related to the enzymes. It shows that if any word or any terminology is end up with the A's, then it is defined about the enzyme. Here the breakdown of the which bond? Glycosidic bond. Glycosidic bond is a bond which is present into the carbohydrates, and this bond has to be break with the help of glycosidase enzyme. And if we talk about again the classification of the carbohydrates which are present in the diets, though may be majorly classified into see here, first one monosaccharides, disaccharides and the polysaccharides. In the previous slide I discussed about that what are the three forms. And now if we take the example for one by one, monosaccharides we can take the example of like glucose, fructose and the pentose sugars, means 5 carbon sugars are there. And disaccharides like the lactose, especially it is called as the milk sugar, and maltose, sucrose. And polysaccharides, these are the like starch and the glycogen, starch as well as the glycogen. It is like a polysaccharides. It's a complex structure of the carbohydrates. And then this is again the some of the structures are the example we can see the in the chemical form like disaccharides. First we talk about this sucrose, and see here these sucrose are, it is also called as the alpha D glycosyl 1,2-BD fructose, means beta D fructose, means here whatever the bonding is present, that is present in between the 1 and 2 carbon items, in between the 1 and 2. And then in the lactose it is present in the location here. If we see the location, that is a 1,4-beta D glucose, and 1,4 means where the bonding is present in between these. Suppose one monomer unit and the another monomer unit, in between these two units, where in which carbon the location of the carbon, it is showing about the location where the bonding of this monomer are bind. And then see here, if you come to the process of carbohydrate occurs where the digestion is take place, basically it is take place into the gastrointestinal tract. And what are the gastrointestinal tract parts are there? First of all, if we talk about the oral cavity or the mouth, and then esophagus and pharynx, and then stomach, and then small intestine. So these are the parts or the components of the GI tract or the gastrointestinal tract. And now the digestion of carbohydrates are basically occur into the three parts like mouth, stomach and the small intestine. These three parts are useful for the digestion of the carbohydrates. Now if we see the process what happens in the mouth, or when the carbohydrates are entered into the mouth, which type of the digestion or the what are the products are digested in the mouth. Digestion of the carbohydrates start at the mouth. In mouth, food undergoes mastication. During the mastication, food comes in contact with saliva. See, this mastication is a physical method, or the chewing action, or we can say the biting of the food with the help of teeth. It is a physical method by which the large particles of the food or the large structures of the food is going to be break down into the small particles, and it is combined with the saliva, and as a result it may be converted into somewhat easy to engulf through the pharynx. And see here, whatever the saliva is there, that saliva is a secretion, it is a liquid material, and it is secreted with the salivary glands. This is the salivary glands. It is also called as the sublingual glands. It is present into the lateral side or the sublingual, sorry, it is present at the below or the submaxillar side, where saliva contains again carbohydrate splitting enzymes like the salivary amylase, and it is also called as the ptyalin. So P here silent, P is a silent here, so it is also called as ptyalin. Action of salivary amylase. As we see that salivary amylase is secreted from the salivary glands. What is the action? It is a alpha amylase, required chlorine ion for the activation, and the optimum pH for this, that is the 6.7. Optimum pH for this 6.7. Salivary amylase hydrolysis, it hydrolyzes or it breaks the alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond of polysaccharides, producing smaller molecules like dextrins, maltose, maltotrioses, glucose. Salivary amylase's action stops in the stomach at the low pH. And see here, this is an example for the glycogen. See, glycogen is a polysaccharide. This glycogen is a polysaccharide, and in the presence of or in the action of alpha amylase, salivary amylase, it is again converted into the dextrin, oligosaccharides, and maltotrioses, maltoses, isomaltose. So these are the monomer units or the dimer or the what we can say here. This is the disaccharides or the monosaccharides which could be formed by the breakdown of this glycogen, which is a polysaccharide form or the complex form. And digestion in the stomach, no carbohydrate splitting enzyme is present in gastric juice. Some dietary sucrose may be hydrolyzed to the equimolar amounts of glucose and fructose by the hydrochloric acid. Here HCl is present into the stomach. By the action of HCl, that sucrose is converted into the glucose and the fructose. Digestion in the small intestine. Again, the next step into the gastrointestinal tract where the digestion of the carbohydrates will be take place, that is the food bowels in the duodenum mixes with pancreatic juices. See here, if we see this diagram, you can see that where is the location for the pancreas. Pancreas present in between the gap where small intestine and the stomach is present. In that curve region, in that gap region, pancreas is present. From that pancreas, with the help of pancreatic duct, a liquid secretion will be secreted from the pancreas, that is called as the pancreatic juice, and that is also called as the pancreatic amylase. That pancreatic juice is also called as pancreatic amylase. And see here, it is specifically hydrolyze the alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds and not on the alpha 1,6 bonds. Okay, sorry, here we are. Pancreatic juice contains the pancreatic amylase similar to the salivary amylase. And what is the action of this pancreatic amylase? It is an alpha amylase. Optimum pH is 7.1 and it requires the chlorine ions. It is specifically hydrolyzes alpha 1,4 glycosidic bonds and not on the 1,6. Means this pancreatic lipase only break the 1,4 glycosidic bond, not the 1,6 glycosidic bonds. It shows the action on the breakdown of 1,4 glycosidic bonds. It produces disaccharides like maltose, isomaltose and the oligosaccharides. And in the equation form also you can see these are the polysaccharides, starch and the polysaccharides like starch and glycogen. Starch or glycogen in the presence of pancreatic amylase converted into maltose, isomaltose plus or oligosaccharides, any oligosaccharides. And see, note is also mentioning here, pancreatic amylase and isoenzyme of salivary amylase differs only in optimum pH of action. Both the enzymes require chloride ions for their action, so it needs the presence of chloride ion. So in this session I am going to stop, and remaining topics may be covered in the next video. And thank you for listening.